He came out and said that in English. I want to listen to something else that he said. This is from 2007, speaking in Guatemala at the meeting of the International Olympic Committee, because we don't often hear... Closing dance door, no. It's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of voice and rationality. Haven't you people ever heard of closing dance door, no?
Their names around in little boxes, to remind them. What's the thinking with the military? Is that kind of emotional attachment?
Hall of Fame are also due by February 7th. The department is looking for people who display leadership in agricultural and state organizations, as well as enterprises like livestock and crop production. All nominations must be submitted to the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry.
Come on.
For more details, visit kgou.org.
Did you hear? There's snow on the way for the Northeast. We'll find out how the story is playing in San Diego.
Also, former Dreamgirls star Jennifer Holliday is back with a new CD and thoughts on the song that first made her a star. Coming up.
Be hypothermia, and that can be deadly, and it's crucial to get that person to a warm, safe place.
Forecasters say an Arctic air mass will plunge the eastern half of the country into a deep freeze, wind chills as low as...
A series of suicide bombers have been dispatched to attack different sites.
Russian authorities blame so-called Black Widows, those of slain insurgents, for previous suicide attacks in the country. The International Monetary Fund is raising its outlook for the U.S. and global economies in an updated, more optimistic report released today. The global lending organization forecasts that the world economy will grow 3.7% in 2014, says the U.S. economy will grow 2.8% this year. On Wall Street at last check, stocks are mixed. The Dow down 89 points at 16,413. NASDAQ is up 21 points at 4,218. You're listening to Here and Now.
Funding for Here and Now comes from Lumosity.com, dedicated to improving memory and attention with neuroscience.
Television production is the beginning of that union, but I think that the real opportunity there is the marijuana.
David Cohen is senior features editor and columnist at Variety. David, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
And from the film industry to the oil industry now, news today from the International Energy Agency.
So there, instead of a concession-based scheme where the foreign investor can take ownership of the oil and gas, it's a profit and production sharing scheme.
Entered fracking in the U.S. Bill Herbert is a managing partner with Houston investment bank Simmons & Company.
Funding for Here and Now comes from MathWorks, creators of MATLAB and Simulink technical computing software.
House reported for the Associated Press. She had an advanced copy of the report. And Nedra, this is quite shocking. College women?
Are you retarded?
President Clinton, and $40 million in federal money came along with that designation. Question is, did it make a difference? Well, with us is Jerry Rickett, who runs the Kentucky Highlands Investment Corporation and was instrumental in helping his region become both empowerment.
And this beast would come to the villages, eat the cows, the pigs, the adults, and especially love eating kids. So the Chinese
this. Dr. Hanna says we tend to use every second we've got, right? In other words, we have 2 hours per project, it takes 2 hours.
As this is one of the places actually in Africa which has made great progress, but overall in the continent we see that there are massive problems. So of the 250 million not learning the basics, 80 million are living in sub-Saharan Africa.
I also see that your report says that since 2008, progress on these issues has all but ground to a halt. Why is that?
In the early... Because it's a marketing tool. Our sugar is more natural because it comes from here. Their sugar is less natural because it comes from there, but in fact, it's pretty much the same thing.
Okay, so it's really not easier for your body to process one or the other?
Not at all. The body processes sugar, but...
Hazard lights on. Everyone knows it's snowing.
The action starts on November 9th of 1456 with the death of someone named Sile. A little bit later, Laszlo V swears not to seek revenge for Sile's death. March following, the king breaks his oath and has Laszlo arrested.
Spoke to someone who said he was only eating olives.
The evacuation of civilians from homes.
That's coming up. First This News.
Highways, and children spending the night in schools. This time, Governor Deal and state officials began preparing at least a day before.
We're not looking back, we're looking forward. The next 3 days are going to be challenging days for the state and for local government and for private entities. We want to make sure that we are as prepared as possible.
Ice from the storm could lead to power outages. If weather conditions continue as expected, the governor says schools will almost certainly be closed on Wednesday. For NPR News, I'm Michelle Worth in Atlanta.
A military band welcomes French President Francois Hollande as he arrives at Andrews just outside Washington. Hollande is greeted by President Obama, and the two leaders then board an Air Force One for a trip to Charlottesville, Virginia, to the home of Thomas Jefferson and one of the U.S. Winter Olympic results from Sochi.
Stopped at a yellow light.
Meeting with, of all people, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Appear to be crushed in tiny tennis. Okay, let's see the arms. The old go one, very good.